Hey guys, welcome back to Emma.Equestrian. So here are my rounds from today. So we started off in the 2-3s training pony with Poppy. So we picked up the wrong lead to start, but we fixed it later, so it's okay. And I gave a really good gallop and we got a great distance to that first fence. She landed her lead, I think. I wasn't paying attention, but I believe she landed her lead. And here we are just cantering. I lost a little bit of my canter through the corner, and it was a pretty good distance in, but I didn't gallop enough out, and we did get the ad, like the ad for the pony, so essentially it's a double ad, but it was a single ad for what Poppy was supposed to do. So here we are just going to our single, what's gonna be an oxer soon. And it wasn't exactly like a straightforward course, so we had like a quarter line bending to a diagonal, which was kind of cool because you don't see that a lot in normal hunter courses. And I rode off my eye because there wasn't a set stride, and it worked out really well. And then I believe I was supposed to make 6 here, which I believe I do. Yep. And then we got our lead change, and it was really good. And now here is my second training pony. So here we are just starting on that green quarter line diagonal. We are going pretty deep into our corner, so I'm pretty happy with that. And now I definitely did miss my corner a little bit to that, but it worked out good. And I believe we got 10 strides here, regardless of the bigger horses making 7. But I rode off my eye again there, and it worked out. And then I believe I gave the same ride. Yep, I gave the same ride, and it worked out nicely. And we have our lead. Now I definitely lost a little bit through the corner, and we got a bit of a quiet distance in, so I was galloping out, but we made it out thanks to Poppy. And I filled up my corner there, which I really liked. Now we're going to our single vertical again on the long side, and I rode off my eye, and it worked again. So today I felt like it was really all about trusting my eye and getting to trust the ponies. And then here is Hans's working pony because he didn't have a training pony. So the fences here are 2-9, so we just started him in 2-9. So we had a good distance to the first one. I definitely would feel like I like a little more canter. And I'm definitely bouncing a little bit in my canter seat, but that gets better later, as you'll see. And then we get a good distance in, and I keep my leg on, and we get out good. I'm keeping an even pace through the corner, which I like, and I was trying to tell myself not to change the distance, and I kind of did, which gave us a little bit of a long one, but it worked out fine. We almost missed our lead change, but we just got it late. And then here we are still jumping. I like that, even though we got it a little bit long. Then here I really held my leg almost a little too much, but Hans, like he always is a good boy, and he got me out of it. And then here is my 2-6 working round on Poppy, because they set for heights. So Hans is a large, so he's at 2-9, the smalls are 2-3, and the mediums are 2-6, so Poppy's doing the 2-6s. So I got a really good distance to my first one. Now my canter seat's beginning to get a little bit lighter. It's not that light yet, but we're getting better. And then I definitely got my reins a little choky on her, but it worked out good. We got the right number of steps in, but my mom's camera didn't focus, so we kind of lost the peak of that jump, which is a little bit sad because I felt like she jumped it really good. And then I kept the same pace throughout the corner and that long ride, and the distance just showed up on her stride, which was super nice. And then I did have to measure a little bit for that one, but it worked out. And then we had a little bit of a chip out, but it wasn't that bad. And then and then my mom's camera goes almost out of focus again. And then we have a shorter distance in, and I definitely should have wowed a little bit, because as you can see, she was going. And here's Goody's round. So Goody was in just the 3-foot children's, I believe. So here I am trotting across my diagonal, getting ready to pick up my canter. So here he goes. All through his canter. And then we start, and it was a really good distance, but we couldn't get our lead change, which is a little bit weird for Goody, and we were struggling in the warm-up ring, and my trainer had to hop on and give him just the low before me, and she did it pretty good, but my trainer is obviously my trainer. And then we chipped, which is unlike Goody, and then even though it was pretty much right there, we chipped again. And then I'm really struggling to get him going, which is odd because generally Goody's the one that's carrying you to the fence and picking you right up. And then he didn't jump that super normal, but he jumped the out really good. So I believe we have 3 fences left. Yep. And then it was our first actually longer distance of the course, and we kind of nailed that line, but it wasn't great, which is kind of weird on Goody because I generally have super great rounds on Goody. And then unlike Goody, we had a rail, so wait, do I have more? No, I don't have more fences. So we decided that he wasn't feeling the greatest, so we decided that we would unfortunately scratch him for the rest of the rounds, and that includes the derby. So I only have the ponies in the derby now. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but he doesn't owe us anything as Goody's already 17, like he's pretty old. So he just does what he can, and if he wasn't feeling up to it that day, he wasn't feeling up to it. So here's Hans's 3-foot round. And I love doing 3-foot on this pony, even though I just did it yesterday for the first time, because it kind of feels like flying, because he's kind of little compared to the 3-foot fences. And then here I am galloping to my first fence, which the distance just shows right up. We have our lead, and I'm going into my corner. And Hans is carrying his head high like Hans always does. But he put his ears forward, so that's good. And then my back got a little arched, but it was still good, and we made it down the line, which I really liked. And then I was so nervous here because on long rides I always change the canter a million times, but I was trying to just sit still, and it showed up pretty much in his canter stride. And then we got that change a little bit later than I would like, but we still got it, so it was good. And then I really had to push for that distance, but it worked out. And I had to add a lot of leg to that distance too. By the way, this is just a 3-foot low. And I don't think this was a division. No, a low isn't a division. And then here we have the last round, and I did have to pick up my pace a little bit to get out of the line, but it was quite good. And then they had asked us to trot a circle out, so I got my trot as quickly as I could, and here I am just trotting my circle. Sorry for this kind of random pause, but you guys do need a little bit of information to understand. So we didn't get the first jump on film, which was the jump you're about to see, but we actually had to stop to the first one, which was really disappointing because that meant that our score got dropped to quite a low. So yeah, so just to know that if you're wondering why I got a low score in the end, that's because I stopped the first fence. Anyways, here is my round. By the way, this is a derby, so it's the 3-foot derby. So I have my shad belly on. So here is the second time I was trying to jump it, and I felt him go to look at it, and I really just put my leg on. He was like, I guess she's serious. I guess she does want me to go over this. So this course had 12 fences in it, and it was my very first derby ever, like ever in my life. And then I really had to move up for that into the line, but it was okay. And then I was so nervous about having any more stops because we couldn't afford another one or else we'd be disqualified, that I was really just like galloping, I'd say, but it wasn't that bad. That one showed up perfectly in his stride, and so did that one. So our round is really good so far, up the bank, and I definitely did catch him a little bit in the mouth here, but we had never jumped a jump off the bank, so I was super nervous. And then I took the inside turn to our trot fence. If you're wondering why I'm trotting, it's a trot fence. And then I had to go down the ramp bank, whatever you want to call it. And I had to make the horse 2-stride because there was no way me and Hans could make a 3-stride in a 2-stride. So I just galloped up there, and obviously Hans got it done for me like the perfect pony he is. And then he jumped that one, super cute. And I picked the low option here because I didn't want to stress ourselves out. I definitely think upon looking back that we could have done the high option there. Same with there, but it was really good. And then I took an inside turn to go out, and we definitely did get into a little bit of a pulling match, but he was really good about walking. And now here's Poppy's style of riding, which is essentially an eck. So, also if you're wondering why the lady's sitting down there on the ground, she's the photographer. She's not just sitting there to spook the horses. So she's just taking photos of the horses going in the ring. So I get my canter, and I was so nervous, but it was really good so far. There was a 2-6 and a 3-foot portion, so obviously me and Poppy are doing this 2-6 portion because that's what she's got to show at pony finals. And now we're just going around our corner, and this shows up absolutely perfect in her stride, and I really liked my echo over it as well. And then I was supposed to go inside, but I couldn't get her lead change, so my trainer had told me just to get her lead change before I go inside, and I couldn't get it, so I just went around, and my trainer said that was the right thing to do. So I definitely could have gone inside there, but I didn't because I kind of got super nervous and panicked a little bit. And then we had a bit of a miscommunication, but Poppy was like, "Kid, we gotta leave the ground from here." And I was like, "Do we though?" And she was like, "Yes." And then we had our trot fence. That's why we broke to a trot. And then we had my galloping 6. So I was galloping and we got a short distance in. But like Poppy she's just a good girl, so she got us out of it. And now here I'd say my worst jump was, there was one less from the corner, so we got a bit of a chip, but it was okay. And then here is our second last jump. It was the bending line, and it was super good. It just flowed right on her step. And then here I was super nervous for my last fence because it was the biggest. And we had a bit of a short distance, but it worked out, and we walked right out. Now, guess what? I won the style of riding on Poppy. So here are just some photos of me and my winning ribbon. Also, I unfortunately didn't pace on the Derby and Hans, as obviously I did have that stop, which put me below the cutoff.